The other night, Mike and I were watching a crime show. You know, the kind of case where everybody goes, what the hell, man? Why would anybody do that? And the expert has said, you'll never understand because you aren't them. That line really stuck with me because when I look around at people like Ashley, we got these online First Amendment auditors, or even Charlie's situation, it really does boil down to one thing. If you don't agree with them, you're a target. Take Ashley, for those that know the story. All I did was not agree with her take on Elon Musk. Next thing I know, I'm a Nazi lover. Really? That's where we're at? You don't agree with someone and suddenly you're the villain in their story? Logical people can say agree to disagree. But some people, they'll burn you down for it. And then there's Charlie. The sad part is he was really good at challenging people. And nobody likes to be challenged. He put himself out there, he put himself on stage, and that made him an easy target. And now people are spinning his death into some spiritual war story. He's up in heaven forming an army with Jesus. Seriously? That's how you process this? Not as a human life lost, but as ammo for your next sermon? This was an evil attack. The enemy needed a sacrifice. He's gone on to prepare for the Lord's army at Armageddon. Everything became war. Everything became revenge. And I thought, man, this is no different from the people who scream about rights while trampling on everybody else's. The costume changes, but the behavior is the same. If you don't see the world through their lens, you're blind, you're damned, and you're the enemy. That's not faith, that's control. Years ago, this guy on YouTube reached out to me. He liked my approach on a video I did about cops, and he wanted me to work for him. Now, at first, I was flattered, but I didn't know what these so-called First Amendment auditors actually did. He asked me to edit a video, some guy filming inside a post office pushing buttons. Honestly, I thought it was stupid. Then I watched more of his own videos. He wasn't exposing corruption, he was creating drama, testing cops, sticking cameras in people's faces, then calling it a win when someone snapped back. To him, his First Amendment rights mattered more than anyone else's rights. And that's where I checked out. He even wanted me to wear a bulletproof vest at one of his events. I declined. At the event, his guy was screaming at cops, calling them criminals, and I was actually pretty embarrassed to even be standing there. So I told the guy kindly that I didn't want to work for him. That should have been the end of it, right? Instead, he sent me threatening letters, said he'd sue me, said he'd take everything I owned. He turned his followers on me. He went from being good enough to work with to public enemy overnight just because I said no. That opened my eyes. You're not allowed to have your own opinion. You can't walk away without consequences. You know what? And it doesn't stop there. Conspiracies feed the same machine. People believe everything they hear. No fact check, no questions asked. It's sickening, really. I did a video once about gossip. I called it Off the Wagon, just an example. But sure enough, someone came to me and said, hey, I heard you're drinking again. They saw the title, ran with it, and spread it like it was a gospel truth. That's how gullible people are. Now, zoom out to a bigger scale. Look at Alex Jones. He pushed the lie that Sandy Hook was staged, that the murdered kids were actors, and people believed him. They harassed grieving parents. They stalked them. Some families had to move over and over again just to escape the hate. That's the danger. A single lie, repeated enough, can ruin lives. And even after Jones was forced to pay over $1 billion in court, people still defended him. Jeez, that's not truth. That's brainwashing dressed up as free speech. Last night, I watched the Charlie Sheen documentary, and it hit me. This is the world we live in. Chaos is celebrated. The train wreck gets the applause. People don't just tolerate the idiot, they cheer for him. That's exactly what I've seen on TikTok and Facebook about Charlie. So many people saying he deserved it, that he was a horrible human. And I ask, what made him so horrible? That he challenged people? That he didn't back down? It's the same formula everywhere. The asshole gets rewarded, the lie gets spread, and the mob claps for it because it goes viral. That's what's broken. That's the pattern. Ashley, the auditors, the way Charlie's being talked about now, different people, different motives, but the same outcome. You don't agree, you're the enemy. Logical people can walk away, say agree to disagree, and go on their merry little lives. But others, they need to destroy you. And that's the part I'll never understand because I'm not them. Here's the part people forget. Free speech isn't just about yelling the loudest. It's not about pushing your beliefs down someone else's throat until they choke on it. It's not about God-given rights or divine authority. Free speech, real free speech, is being able to talk openly, to debate, to say, I don't see it that way, without it turning into a war. It's about being able to walk away from a disagreement without trying to destroy the other person. But somewhere along the way, that got lost. Now it feels like disagreement has to end in character assassination, harassment, or worse. Yeah, I'll never forget a girl on Facebook who told me I should be hog-tied and thrown in the river just because I said I don't believe in God. That's not free speech. That's violence disguised as virtue. We don't all have to be the same. Whew, thank goodness. We're not supposed to be. Real free speech is saying we're different and that's okay. If we can't handle that, then we're not defending freedom. We're just feeding the fire.